Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
What's up, people? Adam Hunter here, bringing you an MMA Roasted Podcast. I got the man, Nate the Train, is with us. The man coming off a huge win. Nate, how are you, buddy? All right, that was cool. Great. First question's awesome. Nate, how are you? Nate the Train. I can't hear him. Is the mute on? Volume? I can't hear you. I think we got it. All right. Technology is not – we're off to a great start, people. This is the way – anyone could have a podcast where people could hear each other and you could sound works. Fuck that. I want a podcast where one person you could hear talking, the other person looks confused. Nate, are we here? Can you hear me? Hello. All right, Nate. I can see you, but I can't hear him. I think you're mute. All right, let me see if he's – no, he's not muted on my end. Now he's muted. Unmute. There we go. All right. And Nate, for some reason I can't, the sound isn't, is the volume up? We gotta put the volume up. The volume has to be up. All right. Like the sound, I can see you. We got, so, what are we gonna do? I think this is, maybe we'll just mime the whole podcast. Be like, how are you? Now he's muted. Nate, there we go. Can I hear him? I can't seem to hear the sound. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Everything good? So I'll answer for him. Yeah, Adam, everything's great, man. It's me, Nate the Train. I had a great fight. I got my first submission. It was awesome. Really? Yeah. How'd that go? It was good. I'm now the M1 champion, and it's good to be in the UFC, and I'm kicking ass, and I want to fight anybody. Nate, can you hear me? Can you hear me? He's like, yeah, he can hear me. Okay, it's cool. So, and who do you want to fight next? Man, I'm 145. I'll fight anybody. Fuck everybody in my way at 145. I want to fight Sean O'Malley. O'Malley has a good fight for you. I think he's 135. Oh, well, Chase Hooper, you're fucking dead. Chase Hooper's on a couple fight losing streak. I don't give a fuck. I'm Nate the motherfucking Train. I want to fight everybody in the fucking world. How about that kid that just knocked out the guy you were supposed to fight? The kid, you're supposed to fight that one guy from Finland. The guy who fucking knocked out the guy from Finland. Yeah, I'll fight him. Fuck that guy. I'll kick his ass. All right, so, all right. Do we get any sound yet? All right, here we go. Are you on a phone or are you on a computer? All right, so I don't know what we're gonna do for this. All right, well, guess what? So Nate, what else? Yeah, I wrestled in high school. I played football. I was a badass. I was a motherfucking killer football player. I fucked everyone up in Tennessee. Well, why didn't you go pro? I dropped out of college. I couldn't pay attention. I got ADHD. All right, well, that happens. I understand. And did you ever think you'd make the UFC? Man, I have my doubts, but the train just keeps coming. Choo-choo. All right, Nate? All right, you got a hot girlfriend too. When are you gonna marry that girl? My wife? Yeah, she's beautiful. We have we're really good together, and she's hot, and she supports me, and she's there for me. She's fine too. I like fine chicks. She's very fine. You're a very lucky guy. All right, so what else is going on? I don't know, man. I'm just here at MMA Masters. I train with Colby Covington. We're kicking ass. All right, so we got Nate. The sound's still not good, but man, this This is the best interview I've ever done. Just want to say thank you, Adam. I can't believe how great this interview is. This is a dream come true. Yeah, man. So you and Colby Covington friends? Well, yeah, Colby's here, right? You and Colby are friends? He's a little heavier than me. Does he run the gym? Well, kind of. He kind of runs gym. Did you think Colby won the fight against Usman? You thought he won? Really? It was close, right? I thought it should have been a draw. I gave Usman 1 and 2, 10-8 the second, Colby 3, 4, 5. Correct? Yeah, pretty much. All right, so here's what you do. I think, Nate, drop out of the Zoom and then try to come back and see if the sound works the second time. All right, so there we go. All right, so there goes Nate. That was a great interview. So now we also have Andrea Lee coming on the show too, because that's how I roll. All right. By the way, I tried to get Nate on 6 times in a row. He finally came on, but there was no sound. So that's what do I want to talk about? Al Iaquinta says he's retiring. Man, he said he quit the last fight, and he's quit before. Man, Al's had a crazy career. I mean, just the fight that he took against Khabib on that, 24-hour notice, that crazy fight he had with Tony Ferguson, where he ran into the wall, and McGregor came and threw the chair, and I give Al a lot of credit, man. Al is the guy. He's a strong guy. He's a tough guy. He's got a whole other career, and going out on a loss is really hard. Nobody wants to do it, but Al says it's time. If Al's the guy who needs to know it's time. It sucks because I love watching Al fight, but he's had some amazing wins in the octagon. He beat Kevin Lee twice. He beat Masvidal. That was a close one. He's beaten a lot of guys. And, he's lost a couple times too, but I didn't think that fight was going to go the way it went. I didn't think that Bobby Green was just going to knock him down and fucking beat him that quickly. So Al is Al. But nothing but respect for Al, and I wish him luck in whatever he does. They're saying that Darren Till is going to fight Sean Strickland. I am all for that fight. That fight sounds incredible. Both maniacs, just the press conference alone, or the weigh-in. I mean, those guys are insane. I don't know who's more insane. I'm not sure. Actually, I think Strickland. Darren Till actually seems like he's at least he's not trying to fight all his training partners. I mean, everyone that trains with Sean Strickland says the guy's a nut. That's him. He's like Colby 4.0, not even 2.0. So I don't know if he's as good as Colby because he hasn't beaten the guys that Colby's beaten the level, but he's damn good. So I'm excited for that. Henry Cejudo had a baby. Congrats to Henry. He's going to be a great dad. Henry's the best. Me and Henry worked together on his comedy act, which hopefully will come out soon on Fight Pass. And Henry's just a good guy, man. Just a really, really good guy. And he's going to be a great father. And I don't know if he's going to come back to fighting. I hope he does. Well, I don't even know if I hope he does. He went out. Look, he went out on top. I mean, when I say on top, he knocked out TJ Dillashaw in 48 seconds. Then he beat Dominic Cruz. He stopped him. He's beating legends. And he's enjoying his life. There's a guy. All right, are we here? Nate? I think I got audio on him. Nate did not connect to audio. Nate, can you hear me now? All right. So, fuck. All right. It says, because in the beginning it said, it's connected to audio. I think we got it. Yes, we got it. It says you're connected. How are you? Fuck, I still can't hear you. Oh, man. I don't know if it was meant to be. But we have a great crotch shot. Nate's crotch is bulging. I guess we know why we call him the train now. It was we always thought it was because of his cardio, but no, it's because of his giant crotch, which makes sense, actually, if you think about it. Nate is connecting to this was going to go down in history as the greatest podcast of all time, by the way. I hope Andrea Lee is only – so I think he's getting close. I feel like he's getting close. All right, well, there goes Nate the Train. This is great, guys. You guys wonder. I fucking try, man. So Colby Masvidal says, Masvidal, we'll talk about him for a second. Look, Jorge Masvidal had the craziest career of anybody. And to go from Kimbo's backyard to where he was in Bellator to getting – I remember he was on the receiving end of the worst, craziest submission I've ever seen. He got hit with an inverted triangle to where he came now to knocking out Ben Askren in, 6 seconds, to being this hero, to then almost now becoming a villain in some ways, to beating Nate Diaz in the baddest motherfucker belt, Madison Square Garden. And now – he got knocked out by Usman, and now he wants to come back, and he was hurt against Leon Edwards, which is good because if you're not 100%, don't fight. I'm not one of these people that, there's almost – I don't know any fighters that, fake an injury. I know guys that fake being okay, and then they fight injured and lose, but very few guys before the fight pull out of fights unless they really have to. That's my opinion. You don't get paid. Why would you go through, the 5 weeks of camp or the 6 weeks or 7 weeks, and then all of a sudden, especially, so that being said, I really hope the UFC does Colby Covington versus Masvidal for the Ultimate Fighter because, first of all, I think it will really showcase Colby in a positive light because he's going to be a great coach. He's going to be there for his teammates. He's going to be serious. He's going to give speeches, and you're going to all of a sudden like Colby. Masvidal doesn't have that same charisma in some ways. I mean, he's a great guy, great teammate. Everyone that trains with him likes him. But I think that it'll kind of be I can't see him being a dick. I don't see him being a dick at all. I just think that Colby's level will rise, kind of how Chael was on The Ultimate Fighter, or even Miesha Tate versus Ronda. When they both were on The Ultimate Fighter, it was Ronda was the heartthrob and Miesha was the B level, and then all of a sudden your people were like, wait, this is not the Ronda Rousey that I thought I was buying, and then Miesha Tate kind of became this beloved girl. And anyway, by the way, Miesha right now is pining for a third fight against Ronda Rousey, which, I mean, I guess if Rousey's going to come back, that's the fight she wants, but I don't know what that does for Miesha as far as beating a girl that's been out of, coming off 2 losses in a row, hasn't fought in 5 years, doesn't look like the same girl, doesn't look like she's even been training really, just gave birth. I don't know what that really does for Miesha's legacy. Although, personally, I'm sure she'd be happy to beat Ronda. That being said, she also says she's next in line to fight Nunes, or should be. And at first, I was like, that's crazy. But then I'm thinking about it, well, if Nunes beats Juliana Pena, who does she fight? Shevchenko again? I mean, what does that do for Nunes? Does she go to fight Kayla Harrison? Does the UFC bring in Kayla for her to fight? I don't know who she fights. I mean, I'm not even being disrespectful. I just don't know who her biggest challenge is at 135 right now. I mean, I guess you could put Jermaine Durandame back at 145 or 135. She hasn't fought in how long? We're going to do Holly Holm again. So I don't know. That's a weird. That's a strange one. So. I guess the girl that beat Mackenzie Dern maybe, but was that fight at 125, I believe it was? I don't think that was even one. I'm going to ask Andrea Lee. She'll know. All right. What else do I want to talk about while I'm waiting for Andrea Lee to come on the podcast? Fights this week. All right. Well, I guess we could talk about some of the fights that went on this week. MMA Junkie, I guess we'll go there. We'll look at some of the fights this week. So, Miesha Tate over the years, results, schedule. And by the way, just so you know, I was supposed to be talking to Nate the Train right now, but that didn't work. And, but I'll always be a fan of Nate the Train. I'm not mad at him at all. Just shit happens, man. You got to roll with the punches, like I tell people. It's not about what happens to you. It's how you react to it in everything. If you're listening to me, that's all that matters. It's not about things are never going to be as smooth as you want to be. It's how you react. Right now, I think I'm reacting okay. So, Caitlin Vieira versus Miesha Tate. Caitlin Vieira is coming off. She beat Yana Kutsana. She beat Sijara Eubanks. She lost to Irene Aldana by knockout, but that girl I think has better striking than Miesha Tate. Miesha doesn't have Miesha's kind of a grinder, kind of an old school Randy Couture type. She gets you down and just lays on you and pounds you. Not that she can't do it, but doesn't seem to have that one punch really pop. And and Sijara Eubanks does, but Sijara Eubanks tires out quickly. And Yana has not really looked that well in her last couple fights. Yana, she got knocked out by Irina Dana. She beat Caitlin Vieira. She beat blah, blah, blah. She lost to Aspen Ladd by knockout in round 3. So I'm saying I think that Miesha Tate wins this fight. I do. I think Miesha Tate is a different fighter right now, and I think that she's fresh. She wants it. She came to my comedy show. She laughed. She seems to be at a happier place, doesn't have all this stress on her, and I think she's a different fighter. I do. Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady. This fight, I think that I've been buying into the Sean Brady hype, which how could you not? The guy looks like a fucking monster. But you look at the guys he's fought. Okay, he beat Jake Matthews by triangle. That's awesome. Jake Matthews is a strong guy, tough guy from Australia. He beat Christian Aguilera. He beat Court McGee. He beat Ismail Nurdiev. All those guys are good guys. Okay, they're solid. But let's look at Michael Chiesa's resume. Vicente Luque, he lost. He beat Neil Magny, bad. He beat Rafael Dos Anjos, bad. He beat Diego Sanchez, bad. He beat Carlos Condit by Kimura. He lost to Anthony Pettis. That was 3 years ago, actually over 3 years ago. He lost to Kevin Lee. That was a weird stoppage. Remember that? I think that was like the week after I got married. And then he beat Beneil Dariush, and I was there for that fight. That was a weird fight. That was a very weird fight. No, I wasn't there for that, but I couldn't believe that he beat Dariush. He like submitted him. So look at level of opposition, and I think Chiesa takes it because, Sean Brady's coming up and he's looking great, but he's looking great against guys on that like B or C level. Chiesa has just been in there with fucking monsters and hasn't always come on the top, but experience is a bitch. And I don't think Chiesa's ready yet to say, all right, and also he also sometimes like, I think he's going to win. Joanne Calderwood. That girl, by the way, I took a leg kick from her because that was Mike Pyle trained me to come do his, he's like, hey man, let's do, a week of training. And then he started pretending it was a real fight. He's like, oh, you got weigh-in tomorrow and you got the press conference. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking tired. I'm in Vegas. I got shows all night. I'm not really a fighter. This is getting weird. At the same time, I love the guy. Anyway, so he said one of my payments to him was getting kicked in the leg by Joanne Calderwood. And I didn't check it or anything. And Jesus, one kick and my leg hurt for the whole week. I mean, yeah, I took it. I didn't cry. I didn't crumble, but fuck, man. Like, I don't know how these guys get kicked like 30 times in the fucking leg. I mean, oh my God. I mean, I guess maybe it was like when I played lacrosse, I was the goalie, and I would get people just wind up. And in that store, you're sitting there, and you see someone just cranking. And eventually they came, and like, after like, 3 weeks or 4 weeks of this, balls – sounds really gay, balls on my face, but like balls hitting my legs and balls hitting my ass and balls hitting it didn't hurt anymore. Like it was just like a sting. So maybe these guys get accustomed to it. But man, that was rough. That was really rough. What's up, people? It is Thanksgiving, and we all know what that means. Football. And nothing goes better with football than turkey and betting. BetOnline has you covered all holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. Okay? BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this Thanksgiving. You got to head to their new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with promo code CLNS50 to receive your bonus. It's not just football, okay? BetOnline has pro and college hoops. They got NHL. They got boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, we're stuffed with deals this Thanksgiving. All right, let's get back to the podcast. Anyway, so Joanne Calderwood, who is always in the fight. I mean, she lost to Lauren Murphy. That was a very close fight. She beat Jessica Ai. She lost to Jennifer Maia by armbar. She wasn't in the fight there. I think she got surprised. Beat Andrea Lee. Lost to Caitlin Chukagian. Lost to Cynthia Cavillo. I don't know. I think that Calderwood is I think she's going to win this fight. I do. And I am biased, but I want her to win. And I see they put her up against this girl who's 18-1. Fucking, this girl's got, man, I wish I was as ripped as this girl. Look at her arms right now. It's not fair. Like, see, the problem is I don't eat right. You know, I work out and I run 5 miles, 4 miles, but then I reward myself by eating like shit. You got to eat right. And I just don't want to do it. I had a Snickers bar this morning. I had what else? I'm drinking this Gatorade, whatever this is. It's just, man, the problem is I'd be better off almost not working out, eating right, than working out and eating like shit. But what are you going to do? All right. So this girl, Talia Santos, is 18-1. Coming off a big win over Roxanne Modafari. Hurt Roxanne a couple times. She won 30-27. She beat Jillian Robertson 30-26, 30-20. Jillian Robertson's a little hottie, a little redheaded hottie, good fighter. She beat Molly McCann. Meatball Molly. Yeah, this girl, her last loss was a split decision to Mara Borella, who's this girl? 12-9. I guess this girl who's coming off won 4 losses in a row. So I guess she just had a bad night, that girl. So I guess that could happen. It's crazy. I mean, MMA math does not work. I wish it did work because I'd make some money. But no. And also in this card is Natan Levy, who is from Israel, who's awesome. He actually came to my show. He was sitting next to Bilal Muhammad. I'm like, are you guys okay together? I know there was, 55,000 years of turmoil between you two, and they both laugh because that's what comedy does. It brings people together, all right? Now all of a sudden you can't joke about things. Everyone's offended, wants to tell you what the fuck you can joke about. Also nonsense. But he's from Israel. My dad, by the way, lets me know every Jewish athlete that ever lived. Like he'll root for people just because he'll just be like, man, Sandy Koufax and this guy and that guy and Max, Rosenthal or this Max Baer. I mean, he just knows all of them. He knows all the Jewish athletes, so I'm sure he'd be happy with Natan Levy. He'll be rooting for him, and so will I. I mean, not just because it's Jewish, but And then my man Terrence McKinney, 11-3, who's a monster. I'm rooting for Terrence, but we'll come back with Andrea Lee. All right, I got the very talented and sideways Andrea Lee. I think you have to move your phone. There we go. Andrea Lee, how
is it? Well, I wanted to adjust. There we go.
Okay.
How's that?
That's much better. Little Red Riding Hood. I like it. You look very homely. In a good way.
I look homely. Homely.
You look like one of those kids outside like Supreme waiting for to buy a Supreme sweatshirt or something. But
I'm trying to hide my hair. It's a mess. I'm still trying to take the braids out. Yeah. And I worked out earlier, so it's kind of, just a little bit ago. So it's kind of.
I'm just happy you're here. So congrats on that huge win. You think that was your best fight?
I guess so. I've had some really good ones before getting into the UFC, but as far as my best UFC performance, I think that would be my best UFC performance.
Because of the level of opposition. Like Cavillo is a monster, and she is. It was crazy. I mean, did you think she was going to actually quit? Do you think she was, or not quit? Do you think she was not going to be able to continue in the third?
No, I didn't. I thought she was going to be able to come out. I mean, I knew that I had hurt her, to the body, but I didn't think that I had, fractured or broken an orbital bone. That wasn't, I saw swelling, but it's not what I thought that would look like. After the fight, the swelling had gotten worse, So it's a good thing that she did, decide not to come out because by the time that she was walking out of the cage, her eye was like almost closed shut, and if we had a fought, another 5 minutes of me just like hitting her with the jab, that would have been even worse, would have, no telling what could have happened. I would feel terrible. So I'm glad that
she's okay. She's supposed to picture her in the hospital. I was like, holy shit. Do you see that picture she posted?
Yeah, I did. I did see that.
This is all your fault, by the way. Everything is your fault. I'm kidding. Your jab looked amazing. Like, did you work on something different? Did you always have that jab, or what? Where'd that come from?
I've always had the jab. I really have. It's just that I have not been utilizing it enough. And I don't know. It's just been non-existent in my last couple of fights for whatever reason. But the jab is always something that I've had. And I've always been told, you want your jab to, it's a weapon. And when you throw it, you want to throw it with respect. You want people to respect your jab. It's not just a measuring tool. It's a weapon, and you want to sit down on it. And which I used to sit down on it all the time. But I just, really worked on that and getting back to that for this fight camp. And, the goal was everything straight down the pipe, uppercuts, and teeps to the body. And that's
I know like sometimes like when guys win, they're always like, yeah, my girl that night, she rode me, she gave me a victory. I know that you're with a fighter. Is it the same thing with him? Did he was like, listen, you worked really hard, lay down, I got this? Was that what happened?
Wait a minute, after the fight?
Yeah, after the fight. You have to have a victory, right? Like you're in the hotel room. Was there candles? Was he listening? I mean,
no, there was none of that. We just went back to the hotel room and we just had I guess what you would call probably a boring. Are you there? Yeah. For most people, it was probably a boring celebration. We grabbed some Thai food, we ate, and we went back and we watched a movie, and that was it.
What movie did you watch?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because he was doing his thing. That's it. Good job, Tony. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Mostly, we watched the fight. We did rewatch the fight, but as far as like what movie we put on, it wasn't. We were just still on cloud nine. We weren't able to really like focus because we were talking about the fight and just going over everything, and then we're talking about his fight because he realized he had only 4 weeks to get ready, which he's been getting ready. But it was just that he was, that week kind of like he felt like he lost some time.
Oh, he's gonna blame it on you. What a dick. Listen, tell him.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
I was focused on you and not my fight. He already has the excuses. Who's he fighting in 4 weeks?
Randy Costa.
Oh,
Costa.
Guy's a good fighter, but Tony's got this. I'm on team Tony.
It's going to be a fun fight. They're both really great strikers.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Now, I was looking at your record. You're 15-3, but you could have easily be 17-1 because a lot of those were like split decisions that I thought you won, could have went your way. Even the Roxanne Modafferi fight, I thought the second one could have went your way. Like you could easily be 17-1 right now. Like those split decisions were very close. You don't realize that? You obviously think about that.
I do realize that, and I have thought about it, and it's just the name of the game. Sometimes you lose by a hair and sometimes you lose by a lot, but and for me, those fights were all pretty close, which I guess, gives me confidence, at least I wasn't slacking or looking too bad in those fights. Some of the judges thought that, I won, except for the Roxanne fight. I did lose by a unanimous decision, but I'm
very close.
Mentally, I'm better. I'm better than I was.
Like I don't want to talk about your ex-boyfriend because we talked about it last time, but it does seem like you're in a much healthier spot, and I think that your fighting is showing it. If there was ever a case of like you got to get your personal life together, it's you right now because you're fighting at a level that I'm like you're happy. If something happens now and some shit goes down, I'm gonna feel like an asshole. But it does seem like you're in a really good spot with your personal life.
I am, and everything is just kind of clicking and falling into place. And Tony and I were working better together now, and we both, I just had my fight and he has his coming up, so we were in camp together. So we're able to like feed off of each other's energy, work together, and just continue to get better. I'm learning things from him. I'm picking up on his style, and he's picking up things from me. And I think that it's just a great mix because he's not just barking. He's not barking orders, but like the things that he asks me to do in training are the same things that he's doing. So, it's not like he's telling me to do something that he wouldn't do. We're able to work together.
He's also your size too. If anything, you're like bigger than him. So that probably helps too. Like he's not some big giant heavyweight. It's just like, he can probably see things, which is good. Is it now? Is it hard to have him in your corner though? Are you like shut up, like no handies for you if you don't shut the fuck up? Like, is it hard to listen to him sometimes?
No, not in the corner. Not in the corner. I mean, sometimes when we're in the gym, and he's coaching and stuff, sometimes I can get a little irritated, but I think that's just because we're around each other all the time. But I try to be respectful. I know he wants the best for me and he's just trying to help me. So I try to be receptive of that and not be so irritated, it's just the name of the game. You got to have somebody who can help you to, and tell you the hard facts that you don't want to hear,
What do you think about like Aspen Ladd's corner that one time, who was just like the most negative human being I've ever seen? You're not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. Do you know that guy? The guy that was like, did you ever train with that guy? I feel like.
Are you talking about Jim?
Oh, is he your trainer now or something? You don't work with him now, do you?
I work with Jim. Look. Oh, cool. And Tony and I were talking about that. Tony and I were talking about that today, only because somebody made a comment to Tony and was like, "Hey, you need to tell Jim how to coach." But you got to understand that, like, the difference is, I was ahead in my fight. It was clear that I was winning the round. So for Tony to come out and be like, "Hey, that was an incredible performance. I want you to go out. I want you to give me a knee. I want you to finish her, put her away." It's easy to be, like supported. I mean, of course, supported the whole time, but it's easier to be like super motivational and, giving me such great feedback because I was already doing well and I was winning the rounds and that was evident. But I do know if I was down on the scorecards, Tony would come out there and he would lit me up. He would put a light of fire under my ass and he would tell me shit that I probably wouldn't want to hear, but I would need to hear it. You know what I mean?
Isn't there a way to do it? Like, I know as a coach sometimes, like, if I'm coaching wrestling and a kid's moving back, and if I say, "Stop moving back," it's different than saying, "Move forward." Because if you move forward, he could do it. When you tell someone to stop doing something, you're not actually telling them what to do. And I feel like
I agree with that. 100%. I do agree with that. And that was something that I needed to have, I needed to change in my corner. And that's something that Tony is doing pretty well of. That was some issues that I did have in the past. A couple of times it's like when someone's yelling at me not to do something, that's not the kind of feedback that I need. I need to be told like that I'm doing good, or that because for me to tell me that I don't need to be throwing a kick, that kind of like puts doubt in me and makes me think that like my kicks aren't good enough. You know what I mean? And you got to be confident in all of your weapons, and you need somebody not to tell you not to do something. I agree with that point that you just made. But sometimes you can be making some stupid mistakes, I mean, if you're throwing a knee when you don't need to be throwing a knee, like on a wrestler, and you know that they're going to be grabbing your leg and taking you down, you need to be reminded not to maybe throw a knee at that time. I guess it just depends on the situation and the scenario. Right.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I didn't know that was your coach, by the way. Now, what are your thoughts on that other girl, Valerie Laredo, the chick in Bellator who's like always twerking and showing her ass shots? Because you're a very attractive girl, but like you're not one of the people that shows you like I don't know what you ate last for breakfast based on your Instagram post, and it just seemed like some of these girls, like this girl, her fighting isn't. She circles the whole time, karate point fighting. She's like 2-1 or 3-1, but then it's all twerking and this and that. It does seem a little bit of like you want to be a fighter, but you're not really putting in the work necessary to kind of be the best fighter you can be, but you also want to capitalize on people's clicks and horny people and people with their dick in their hands and stuff. And it's just like, I get it, but is this really what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to comment and necessarily say that like what she's doing is, I don't know, scandalous or whatever. I'm not sure which word to use, but personally, I don't feel like I would, be up posting videos, me shaking my ass and stuff, just trying to get attention. But I have taken, sexy photos, and I have posted them, and I have kind of gotten further and further away from that. It's like, I don't really necessarily just want people to like my stuff because I'm posting half naked photos. It's like, I want you to like me because, you know, I'm a great fighter. And you know, I post content that, you know, people like, other than, again, half naked photos and ass shaking and stuff like that, because that doesn't show who I am as a fighter, you know, and that's what I want to promote. I
mean, even like the Crazian, like she fights every week somewhere. Like she'll do bare knuckle. I mean, she's insane, but she posts like all kinds of stuff. But at least you're like, well, I mean, she fights all the time. And then the other girl, even Paige Van Zandt, like kind of backs it up. I mean, she's in there, she's fighting. Where this girl, it's like she literally was like running away. The last fight, I'm like, come on. She circled the whole time, did not want to engage, and then acted like she just won the fucking the UFC UFC, you know, ultimate. I'm like, what is going on here? But what am I missing? I don't know. It didn't bother me.
You just have to be female. Yeah. You just have to have footwork and be pretty. You could be in the UFC.
I mean, like I think like Shevchenko's like does it perfectly because she dances and she's pretty and she posts pictures in there and she's a fucking monster. You know, not everyone's doing Shevchenko, but by the way, now is that your next fight?
She keeps it classy too. You know, I mean, there's levels. You know,
not like look at my asshole. I'm not saying I wouldn't look at her post her asshole. I'm sure I'd look, but I'm not gonna like. It's just a little bit of like I don't know. Maybe I've changed. I have a daughter, but. Do you who
that could be it?
Yeah, people are gonna be like, "What kind of fucking?" I'm sure I'm gonna get comments. Who do you want to fight next? By the way.
You know, I've had a couple of people say that, you know, they want to see me rematch Lauren Murphy. I don't know if that's the fight to make, but I mean, that would be nice, you know, just to kind of get that back. You know, it's whatever fight is going to get me that opportunity at the title. You know, that's the one to match next. I think I'm ready. You know, I want to get that shot. So I'm hoping this next fight, you know, I'll be able to put them away and then maybe get my opportunity at the title.
Why wouldn't you be next? I mean, Lauren Murphy is coming off a loss. You're coming off 2 wins. Who's ahead of you right now?
Well, I'm ranked number 7. So, you know, there's a couple of other people that are ahead of me. Unfortunately, freaking Valentina's already fought pretty much all of them.
Yeah, right? She fought all of them. She has fought.
No, well, I think you have JoJo and Tyla, who's fighting, I think, this weekend, right? And I think depending on who wins that fight, we'll get an opportunity at Valentina next, I think.
I don't know. I think you're right there. I think that, if anything, you might want to hold out. So the fight this week, Miesha Tate versus Caitlin Vieira. Who do we like?
I was talking about that earlier, and I think that it's going to be a tough fight, I think, for both girls. But because it's a 5-round fight, I think Miesha Tate might etch out this win. But Vieira is a very, you know, she's a tough opponent, and her striking is really good. I think that, you know, Miesha Tate still has her hands full with this one.
Now, Tate says she's next in line to fight Nunes if she wins. And at first I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But now I'm thinking if she beats Pena, which I hope she doesn't, I hope Pena wins, maybe she is next in line, right?
Well, that is the fight that everybody's talking about. And I think that they'll happily make that fight happen because fans want to see it. Everybody, you know, loves watching Miesha Tate, and everybody wants to, you know, see Nunes fight. And I think that would be the fight to make next if Pena doesn't get this win.
How did she pop out 2 kids and look like that? She
looks incredible. She looks phenomenal. I didn't even know that she had 2 kids. I knew she had 1.
She's like 60 years old. I don't understand. I mean, you have a kid, right?
I do.
How old was your kid?
I was 21 when I had Ainsley.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. I had no idea. That's why your kid's like 30 right now. How old is your kid?
10.
10. Wow, you're young. 31. You look like you're 23, by the way. You look very young. You look very, very young. I forgot.
Thank you.
But did you even start training? So you were like a karate champion when you had a kid, right?
I started training at 20, and it happened fast. You know, I mean, I wasn't expecting, you know, all of that to happen. It was, you know, kind of a surprise. I had just kind of started catching my groove, when I found out that I was pregnant. And so it was kind of a shock because I was really enjoying fighting. And then I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to, I'm pregnant and I'm going to have a kid. I'm not going to be able to fight anymore. But we were able to work past it and still make it happen.
So who watched the kid while you were training?
Well, there for a while, she was at the gym with me. She would just come to the gym with me. And then the way that my ex had the gym set up, his mother's company was right next door. So our gym was in another building that was next door to their company. So she would be able to go over there too and hang out with her grandmother.
Did your kid do karate or wrestling or jiu-jitsu?
No, she does ballet and she does piano.
Wow.
She's worked mitts, and Muay Thai and stuff with us a couple of times when she was a little bit younger, but she has no interest in it at all. She doesn't care to even watch me fight.
Yeah, I try to get my daughter to wrestle with me. I'm like, let's wrestle. And she goes, "Arr!" And then she just pins me. And then I go, she's a champion, but she doesn't really get the wrestling. But
yeah.
Has Tony bonded with her? Is Tony like the cool stepdad?
Well, he's not trying to be like a stepdad or anything, but he is trying to be just cool with her, they, dab each other up and, he tries to be fun and funny. But sometimes, yeah. Huh?
Does Tony have his kids or no? Does he have a kid?
No, he doesn't have any kids.
Wow. So sometimes he what?
I was going to say sometimes, he has to tell her to close the door, or, kind of give some sort of instruction, but he tries not to like overdo it.
Got it.
Decline.
Got it. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you, Tony. Good job. Now, Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady. Who do we like?
Oh, let me think. Chiesa.
I think so, too. I think he's fought better guys. But this Brady kid's 14-0. He's been knocking everyone out. He's a monster. I don't know. My heart's with Chiesa, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. You just never know until you get in there with one of them, the OGs.
Tony, who do you think, Tony?
Tony?
Yeah. Isn't Tony behind you right now?
Is he?
No,
that would be creepy.
Who's looking at the camera? You?
Me, yeah.
Oh, because the camera keeps moving. I thought that was him. I thought
it keeps. I bumped the table and it kind of fell forward.
I thought he was like sitting at the whole photo shoot. Got it.
Oh no.
Got it. Lupi Gonzalez, who's fought 3 times this month. She fought back.
Dang, really?
Well, twice in October, once in November. She's fighting Loma Lookboonmee. Do you know anything about these two girls? Okay.
I didn't even realize that those were girls, to be honest.
Terrence McKinney. He's the guy that did acid and mushrooms. That got tased 3 times by the police.
Really?
Yeah. He was like pronounced dead like 3 times, and then he's fighting.
I think I remember hearing about this kid's story. He's new to the UFC, right?
Yeah, he's been knocking everyone out though, like in 10 seconds. It's like last 3 wins, but like 1 minute total.
Who's he fighting?
He knocked out Matt Frivola in 7 seconds, and then a bunch of other guys in a minute. He's fighting some guy named Faraz Diam. Have you heard of Faraz?
I'm not familiar with that name. I'm gonna go with what's his name again?
Terrence McKinney.
Yes, I'm gonna go with Terrence. I do remember Terrence. I saw his fight, and I remember hearing about his story. I just couldn't remember his name, but yeah,
he's got a crazy story.
Yeah.
And then who do you like? They're trying to make Darren Till versus Sean Strickland.
Ooh, man. Sean Strickland.
He's that nut job, Strickland, that like beats up all his training partners, and he's like Colby Covington, like part 2, but even worse.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm familiar with him. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Till. I'm gonna go with Darren.
Really?
Yeah.
He's looking terrible.
Because, I mean, he might, like, I don't know. I guess I always think the underdog, I mean, yeah, I know. Hey, I lost 3 in a row.
Barely. You lost 3 in a row, but not really. I mean, I guess.
He might come back. I don't know.
So
I guess I just always want to, and I like Sean Strickland, too. I don't know. Sometimes I want to see, like, the person who's been doing the worst kind of come out on top. I don't know.
Let's see the rankings. Hold on. Yeah, UFC 125 women's rankings. How hard is it, by the way, for you to make 125?
It's not hard for me. It still sucks, having to cut weight in the sauna and the bath. I mean, it's never fun ever, but I make it happen. We make it happen.
Are you like in a bad mood when you do it, and then like your boyfriend tries to like cheer you up, and it's just a pain in the ass?
Honestly, I just like when someone tries to cheer me on, that it kind of irritates me. Because I like to get in my head. It's like, I don't need to be cheered on. Like, just let me sit here in silence. You know what I mean? Just let me suffer in silence. That's all I need.
They have you 10th. That's got to be bullshit, right? There's no way.
I think I'm number 7. That whatever you're looking at, it's probably not been updated, but I've been seeing 7.
They got Shevchenko first. They got Jessica Andrade second, which I don't know. I feel like, and then they got Caitlin Chukagian third, Jennifer Maia, Lauren Murphy, Alexa Grasso, Talia Santos, Vivian Araju, Roxanne, then you. There's no way that's true, right? Then they have
no, I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I think you should be number 2. Right above.
No, I think I'm number 7.
You should be number 2. I mean, didn't you be? How'd the fight go with Chukagian? That was a split, right?
I haven't fought Chukagian. I got to fight her.
That's the fight to make.
Yeah, that might be the fight to make. Yeah, I always forget about that.
She grunts a lot. She goes,
hey, we're both going to be out there. Everybody's going to have to mute the television when her and I fight, because we're both going to be like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, you got to grunt louder than her. I think she wins a lot of the close ones because they hear the grunts. You gotta grunt just as much, and tell your training partners to grunt too.
But the only difference is when I'm Keon and I guess grunting or yelling, I do it because I'm sitting down on my shots. You know what I mean? Like I'm really trying to like get power on the end of my shots. I have noticed with Chukagian, a lot of hers is like more like point karate. A lot of her stuff is not really like with power. It's a lot. It's fast. It's flashy. She's landing a lot of it, but it just doesn't look like she's really landing a whole lot of power behind everything.
She has powerful kicks. I find that she's hurt people with kicks more than she has with her punches.
She has good kicks. Yeah.
That's a good fight.
Her teeth and stuff.
That's for the grunting championship, the GFC. That's going to be good.
Grunting championships.
I'm telling you, that's going to be a good. Have you ever thought about changing your nickname from KGB? Because don't the Russians keep claiming you?
I don't know. And I have actually. It's really funny that you mentioned that, because I've been, I had some conversations, and I've just been, I guess, kind of enlightened a little bit more that, it might be best if I change my nickname, but it. In my mind, KGB stands for kicking girls' butts, which is simple, But then, of course, I still have that little, stigma, I guess, that follows me around, because KGB is Russian and they did bad things, So
right.
It's like.
Yeah, I can see it. So what are you thinking about changing it to?
I don't have anything. I didn't even want my nickname to be KGB in the first place. I mean, whenever I was, I guess, blessed with this nickname, the other alternative was Karate Cowgirl. And I was like, no, I don't like that either.
Come on, that would have been awesome. I think you would have better of the Karate Cowgirl. That's hilarious.
Karate Cowgirl. I know, but I was like, funny. No.
I can see why you wouldn't want to be the Karate Cowgirl, but I don't know. What about stay out of my DMs or something, or time of the month? So something that they get people you gotta have something funny, I don't know, something like not a thought or something, or I don't know, something that's kind of catchy. The Karate Cowgirl is pretty good though. Holy shit! I mean, you're Southern. Yeah. You're Southern. You actually do ride horses, right?
I don't own any horses, but yes, I've ridden horses, many times, but unfortunately I don't own any horses or cattle.
The Southern MILF or something? I don't know. Something that's
Southern MILF.
There's got to be something there.
I guess looking back, Karate Cowgirl would have been funny.
Karate Cowgirl would have been pretty damn good. But then people would have been.
It would have made more sense with the cowboy hat.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. Karate Cow. Oh my God. So funny. Well, listen, Karate Cowgirl, KGB, whatever they're going to be called. You're the best. Have a great weekend. Thanks. I'm going to thank you for your time. And
of course, Adam.
And thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.